Okay, everybody, we have here our quadrilaterals review, right? So this is a packet that we made up for you guys and get you ready for our test coming up, and we're just going to work our way through it. So define each of the following terms. Now, I'd like you guys to write these out in your own words. I'm going to kind of draw pictures to save a little bit of time so I can get through stuff. A polygon is a closed, enclosed shape with all straight sides. Okay, so I mean, like, you're looking at all straight sides, it's enclosed, no curves. Okay, anything along those lines, you're in good shape. Okay, convex, I'm going to put over here, is anything that has nothing, like no indents going inward. Okay, so a good example would be a draw like a pentagon where you have everything going on the outside. Okay. Meanwhile, for a concave, you're looking at something that is like indented almost. So here's a polygon that's going inward. You can see it hits inside right there. Equilateral is polygon with all sides the same. Oop. Okay. So equilateral is all sides. Equal angular is a polygon with all angles. Okay. And irregular is when you have both all sides and all angles the same. Okay. So just some basic vocab words you can see pop up. The sum of the measures of the angles of an n-gon is the quantity n minus 2 times 180. Guys, what I can do with this is if I ask you to find the sum of the measures of the angles of a 35-sided polygon, or a 35-gon, you can plug 35 in here, do 35 minus 2 times by 180, and you get it. Alright? So I guess a better way to say number 3 here would be the measure of an angle. I didn't teach you guys 3 or 4 yet, so I'm going to tell you guys to circle these. We'll get back to them. Okay, we will. Alright, down here, name the characteristics of each of the following quadrilaterals. Parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. Okay, your diagonals bisect. Opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles congruent, and adjacent angles apt to 180. Rhombus. Okay. A parallelogram with all 4 sides the same. So, all sides the same. But it still holds all the properties of a parallelogram. Refer to your green sheet. Rectangle. A parallelogram with all 4 right angles. Okay. Square. Parallelogram with all 4 right angles, all 4 sides the same. Kite is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of adjacent congruent sides. Okay, on 1 pair of congruent angles across right there. Trapezoid, big difference for a trapezoid is only 1 pair of parallel sides compared to your parallelogram, which has both. An isosceles trapezoid is when your legs are congruent, okay, of a trapezoid. So a lot of vocab in the front, which is stuff that, you know, I'd like you guys just to like be familiar with. Okay. Now as far as number 6 goes, right now again we're circling this one. I'm going to refer back to it in a little bit. What I do expect you guys to be able to do though is if I ask you to plot these points like -1, 2, I think you guys should be able to come over here and put -1, 2, put down an n right there. M is 3, 4, so the right 3, up 4. L is 1, -2. And K is 5, 0. Okay. And then you could be able to connect those, right? And if you had to think about how I could prove what kind of shape that was, well, I need to be able to figure out what kind of lengths the sides are. We did learn a distance formula a very long time ago. in a galaxy far, far away. So that's something that we could come back to and talk about in a little bit. But for right now, again, be able to plot these points, be able to construct that four-sided shape. Okay. Down here, find the values of the variable and the lengths of the given side. Okay. Now they're trying to throw you off here with everything that's going on. Guys, if it's isosceles trapezoid, the legs got to be the same. So the only thing I do know is that these got to be congruent. So 2x minus 7 equals x plus 1. I could subtract x, I can add 7, x equals 8. That is an 8 right there. And then you can plug it all back in. 2 times 8 is 16, minus 2 is 14, 8 plus 1 is 9, 2 times 8 is 16, minus 7 is 9, and then 8 minus 1 is 7. So, good stuff. Kite. Guys, use the tick marks to your advantage, okay? These two got to be the same. Those two got to be the same. I wouldn't want to start over here because then I have an m equals a t. On the left, I could do 3m minus 5 equals m plus 3. I can subtract m over. 2m minus 5 equals 3. Add 5 over. 2m equals 8. Divide m equals 4. Well, now I can plug everything back in. 4 plus 3 is 7. 3 times 4 is 12. Minus 5 is 7. Okay, over here, if I plug in an m, I got 4 plus 2t equals t plus 9. I got to make my other equation up. I can subtract 4 over. 2t equals t plus 5. Subtract t, t equals 5. Okay. Alright. Properties of parallelograms. You guys are looking at opposite sides parallel. Opposite sides congruent. Diagonals bisect. Opposite angles congruent. And angles next to each other half to 180. Okay, that's pretty much all that we need for a parallelogram. Now, using that knowledge, we can take a look down here. Number 9, opposite angles are the same. This has got to be 79 degrees. Angles next to each other have to have to 180. So I can do 180 minus 79, 101. Okay, good. So here, if this is 99, angle 3 has got to be 99 degrees. Then, because they're all parallel, I know alternate interior angles. This is 38, this is 38 degrees. Then I know that I have a triangle inside there. So I don't ever want to forget about my basic knowledge of triangles. So I can say 38 plus 99, do 180 minus 137. I get 43 degrees right here. Okay. Same ideas over here. If this is 37, this up top, angle 1 is 37 degrees. Let's see, if this is 63, this is 63 degrees. And then straight line right here, 180 minus 63 is 117. Guys, triangle. So 117 plus 37. I can do 180 minus 154. This gives me 26 degrees, which means angle 2 down here is 26 degrees. I've got everything I could possibly want. Okay? Good deal. So, moving on a little bit. Determine whether the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, explain your reasoning. This would be yes, opposite angles are congruent, both pairs. That works. This would be, we know, again, yes, opposite sides congruent. Okay. And lastly, diagonals bisect. So, diagonals bisect. That's a yes. Okay. Number 11, find the values of the variables for which A, B, C, D must be a parallelogram. All right. Opposite angles are congruent. Sorry for the cough there. But angles next to each other have to add up to 180. Okay, I wouldn't want to do opposite angles equal each other because I have x equals y there. It doesn't bode well for me. 4x and 2x is 6x plus 6 equals 180. 6x equals 174. Divide, let's see, 29. Now, I can do the same thing up top for my y's. 3y minus 20 plus 4y plus 4 equals 180. 3y and 4y is 7y minus 16 equals 180. I can add 16 over. Let's see here, 1456. 196 divided by 7, 28. Okay. Guys, for this problem, just to make my life a little bit easier, please change this y to x, and please change this. Please change this to a 9. So what I would do here is on the diagonals bisect for a parallelogram. So this has to equal that. 4x minus 2 has to equal 3x minus 1. And on the other one, 3y minus 3 has to equal 9. Okay. So here I'd add 2 over. I'd subtract 3x plus 2. X equals 1. But on the right, I could add 3, divide by 3, y equals 4. Okay? Alright. What do you know about the diagonals of a rhombus, the diagonals of a rectangle? A rhombus diagonals are perpendicular. Perpendicular. Which means they make 90 degrees. For a rectangle, they are congruent, which means same length. Okay. Properties of a trapezoid: one pair of parallel sides. Angles right across from the parallel sides have to add to 180. Same thing over here. Okay. And lastly, for a kite, I got 2 pairs of adjacent congruent sides and 1 pair of congruent angles across from each other. Alrighty? Nice. Okay, on the back, try and get as much done as I can here. These are much the same. Okay? So, pardon me for that cough again. Find the measure of the numbered angles in each quadrilateral. So let's just see if we can get maybe 1 or 2 of these done. For here, if this is 56 degrees, alright, I know 180 minus 56 gives me angle 1, so that'd be 114 degrees. Now, because this is a rectangle, okay, what I know here is that these are going to be congruent, these base angles are going to be congruent the same, because the diagonals are the same. So I could do 180 minus 56, get 124 for these 2 angles added together. But take 124 and divide it by 2, 62 degrees. 62 degrees here, 62 degrees there. But these things are 90 degrees, right? So to find angle 2, 90 minus 62 gives me 28 degrees, right? I think that's a pretty good place to stop right now. We can go ahead and figure out the rest later. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in class. Hopefully this video helps a little bit. I know I went a little bit fast, so if you need to slow it down, just rewind it. As always, keep up the good work, and good luck. We're all counting on you.